Hello everyone, Vicissitude here. Today I would like to discuss PvP in Destiny, since that is the biggest news in the Destiny community at this moment. It appears that many people in the PvP community are fed up with the lack of content for PvP and with Stasis in general, and are being quite vocal about it. Lots of content creators are giving their opinions, and I thought I would share mine since I have a point of view that seems to be different than most. I think the people that are frustrated and angry with PvP need to realize that Destiny is primarily a PvE game at this point. It has been like that for quite a while now. I know some people are angry at that, but honestly, it's the truth, and I will give you a few reasons why. But later on, I plan to tell you why I think that even if Bungie was interested in revitalizing PvP, there are just too many issues at the core of Destiny that impede it from being a very good PvP game. First, let me say that I consider myself a PvP player. That is the activity I enjoy the most and the reason why I play Destiny. Since D1, my endgame is the Crucible and trying to take faces off with my sniper. It's the activity I can do over and over that keeps me playing Destiny. But that has not been the case for me for a while now. Bungie just does not seem to have the Crucible as the main focus. First, I can't remember the last time we had a vendor refresh. It's well over a year, I know that. It might be more than two, who really knows at this point. The map pool we have right now is just bizarre. We are basically playing beta maps from when D2 first launched and maps brought over from D1. But I am not surprised. Remember a while back when everyone was freaking out because it was rumored that D3 would have no PvP? I forget how long it was, but that rumor was everywhere. And eventually Bungie did go ahead and deny it, but it honestly, now I believe that the rumor was true. It just makes sense. We now know D3 is not a thing, but instead D2 will just receive expansions until the end of its life cycle, but clearly the decision internally has been made not to make PvP a priority. And honestly, why should they make PvP a priority? When I look on Steam, all I see is glowing reviews for Destiny. People really enjoy the game right now. And I remember way back when the game first launched how miserable everybody was when Bungie tried to build the game around PvP balancing. At least right now, the biggest group in Destiny is pretty happy, and that is a good thing. Part of growing up is understanding that in a given situation, there are many competing interests, and yours are not always going to win out, and neither should they win out. PvP enthusiasts need to face it. Destiny is no longer built with you as a focus, and I honestly believe that is the best call to make. Let me explain why. Ideally, there will be two different sandboxes, one for PvE and one for PvP. But I guess Bungie, with the technology they're working with or their systems, can't do that. So one change done to affect one core activity will undoubtedly affect the other. And this issue plagued the launch of D2. For most of D1, the major complaint was that the Crucible was too chaotic. Abilities were too strong, the cooldowns were too short, and balance in weapons was never ever close. It does seem that Bungie did listen and released a vastly different Crucible with D2. Special weapons were now power weapons, and Guardians will be rolling with two primaries instead. Grenades were nerfed, 3 melees were needed for a kill, and time to kill was increased. All these changes took place, and honestly, nobody was happy. PvPers hated it and said the Crucible was too slow and boring, while the PvEers complained about their power fantasies, saying they just did not feel powerful enough when doing activities. And ever since then, Bungie has gradually worked to bring back the Crucible to a state that was D1, and eventually surpassed it with more powerful supers, abilities, and exotics. And to tell you the truth, I don't blame Bungie quite as much as I blame the PvP community. Bungie did give us a more balanced Crucible with weakened abilities, and you flat out rejected that. At the time, I too was frustrated with the game, but I actually liked a lot of the changes that had taken place. Having one super per game I felt was the right amount. The grenades and melees were in a good spot, I thought. I was unsure with the double primary system, but I was willing to stick with it and see the other changes done first and then reevaluate the situation. Through leaks, we now know that D2 had a rough development cycle and faced a reboot that was far too close to the release date. That was the main issue, not the balance changes. Instead of thinking things through and asking for simple changes like bringing back 6v6 and random rolls, the community freaked out and asked Bungie to bring back D1, and yet again they complied. This is what we have now. The Destiny Crucible we have now is based on player feedback. For me, it's like D1, only worse. Way too chaotic. Supers are too strong, they move across the map too quick, and having 2 or 3 supers per game is too much, especially when they are this strong. Abilities are too strong and quite frankly make the game cheesy. Stasis being the latest offender in this category, even if you do remove it from Crucible, the other abilities still make the game too cheesy for my taste. In capturing footage for this game, I ran into a hunter that was permanently cloaked. He did not get into one single gunfight without being cloaked. With all the mods and exotics out there, I'm sure this is a fairly easy build to do. And keep in mind that cloak removes aim assist, so it is a major advantage in a fight. The key thing about all this is that it is not going to change at this point. It would affect PvE too much, which I am sure is proving to be a very reliable cash cow for Bungie. For me, the problem is way too systematic to be addressed with new maps and weapons. I am sure the Crucible will eventually get those, but it will never be the same. It's a shame really, because there is no other PvP experience like Destiny. The game is smooth and the concept is really cool. Having supers in an arena shooter is simply amazing. I honestly wish Bungie would have ripped Crucible from Destiny and turned it into a free-to-play arena shooter and just worked from there. But Destiny is way too successful of a PvE game now to risk jeopardizing that with massive changes to balance, which is what is really needed here. Honestly, I'm not even mad. I had a good run with Destiny and continue to jump back in every once in a while. Since the Crucible is no longer a main focus, at least one group of Guardians is really enjoying the game, and that is a good thing indeed. Now, I am sure many people will disagree with me, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. Just remember to keep it civil. Anyway, that's it for now, and I will catch you all next time.